Let's be honest, you can't escape it. The AI boom is literally everywhere, promising to completely reshape our world. I mean, we're hearing about incredible new tools, chatbots, and all these innovations pretty much every single day. But here's the thing. While some parts of the world are sprinting into this new AI-powered future, a huge portion is at risk of being left far, far behind. And this isn't just a small gap, it's a great divide. And we're going to break down exactly why it's happening and why it really matters to all of us.
And this chart, man, it really visualizes what we all feel. For decades, AI was kind of this slow, steady burn. But just look at that curve after 2015. With breakthroughs like AlphaGo and then the absolute explosion of generative AI, think ChatGPT, the pace has become truly exponential. It's a rocket ship for sure. But the real question is, who's actually on board?
And that question brings us to the absolute core of our explainer today. This quote from a recent United Nations report. It just paints such a stark picture. For so many developing countries, the AI revolution doesn't feel like some big opportunity to innovate, it feels like a new kind of dependency. They're becoming technological colonies, just consuming tech that's built somewhere else. So this isn't just an uneven playing field. For a lot of them, the game hasn't even started.
All right, so to really get our heads around this divide, we need to zoom in. A new report from the UN's International Telecommunication Union focuses on 3 specific groups of nations in the Asia-Pacific region. These are the countries on the very front lines of development challenges, where the promise of AI can feel the most distant.
So here they are, the 21 countries at the heart of this study. They fall into 3 main buckets. First, you've got the least developed countries, the LDCs, like Bangladesh and Cambodia. Then there are the landlocked developing countries, or LLDCs. Think Nepal and Mongolia, which face some pretty major geographical hurdles. And finally, the small island developing states, or SIDS, like Fiji and the Solomon Islands, which are just uniquely vulnerable to, well, everything from climate change to connectivity issues.
This chart right here really puts the sheer economic scale of the challenge into perspective. Let's just take Bangladesh, for example. It's the 8th most populous country in the entire world. We're talking over 171 million people. But its total economic output, its GDP, is roughly half that of a single U.S. state like Colorado, which has 30 times fewer people. So when you look at all 21 of these nations combined, you're talking about a population of nearly 400 million people, but their economic engine just isn't powerful enough to fund the massive investments you need for an AI revolution.
Okay, so the first and most fundamental barrier is infrastructure. And we're not just talking about slow Wi-Fi here. For so many people, the basic digital lifelines that we just take for granted are either super fragile, crazy expensive, or just not there at all. You know, the digital divide isn't some abstract concept, it's a number. And just look at this comparison. In Mongolia, over 3/4 of the population is online, but in Afghanistan, it's less than 1 in 5. That is a massive gap in just getting access to the basic front door of the digital world.
3.2 megabits per second. Just let that number sink in for a moment.
So what does 3.2 megabits per second actually feel like? Well, that's the average fixed broadband speed in the Solomon Islands. It means trying to run a business or get an online education or use telemedicine is a constant struggle. To put that in perspective, the global average speed is over 40 times faster. For these nations, the digital superhighway is more like a bumpy, potholed dirt road.
Now, if you're wondering why the connection is so fragile, check this out. These are the undersea fiber optic cables, the physical backbone of the entire global internet. And if you look closely, you can see that a lot of these Pacific Island nations, they're connected by just one single cable, a single lifeline to the rest of the world with absolutely zero backup.
And believe me, this isn't some hypothetical what-if scenario. When a volcanic eruption severed Tonga's one and only cable, the entire nation was plunged into a near-total internet blackout for weeks. That's what it means to live on the fragile edge of the digital world. One single point of failure can literally cut off an entire country.
But look, cables and cell towers, they're only part of the story. Because even if you had perfect infrastructure, you just can't build an AI-powered future without the right policies and, maybe most importantly, the right people.
This chart here reveals what experts call the governance gap. See that outer line? That represents the world average for having things like a national digital strategy and the laws to back it up. Now, see that little inner purple shape? Yeah, that's the average for the LDCs and SIDS. The gap is enormous. They're playing catch-up on just creating the basic rules of the road for a digital economy, let alone for something as complex as AI. So when you put it all together, you really see how all these challenges create this awful vicious cycle. The weak infrastructure makes it hard for experts to even do their work, which adds to the human resource gap. A lack of private investment means there's no money to upgrade that infrastructure. And without clear policies and regulations, there's pretty much zero incentive for anyone, public or private, to invest in the first place. Each problem just makes the others worse.
And this might be the toughest gap of all the close, because at the end of the day, technology is nothing without people. Just imagine you're a brilliant young data scientist in one of these nations. The local opportunities are few and far between, and the global market is calling your name, offering way better pay and resources. This leads to a constant brain drain, where the best and brightest leave. It just depletes the local talent pool and makes it incredibly difficult to build a self-sustaining AI ecosystem from the ground up.
Okay, so there's a gap. Big deal, right? Why should the rest of the world really care? Well, this is about so much more than just missing out on the latest AI tools. This is about fundamental human progress. You see, the United Nations has this clear roadmap for how digital technology can help us achieve our shared global goals for a better world. Things like ending poverty and improving healthcare. This AI divide isn't just a tech issue. It's a massive development issue that threatens to derail that entire agenda.
I mean, just think about what's really at stake here. Without AI, these countries miss out on tools that could speed up disease diagnosis in remote clinics. They miss out on awesome adaptive learning platforms that can personalize education for every single child. They miss out on AI-driven efficiencies that create jobs and economic growth. And for nations on the front lines of climate change, they miss out on AI that could help predict and even mitigate disasters.
And so, that leaves us with this one big question. AI holds this incredible promise to be a powerful engine for global good, a tool to solve some of our biggest, hairiest challenges. But if we're not careful, if we don't actively work to close this great divide, this revolutionary technology could end up pushing our world further apart than it's ever been before.